What the F this got to do with me? Good evening, otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your Dark Mask Diva. The name of this content is What the F This Got to Do with Me. It sounds familiar, right? You guys probably remember that it's from the movie, which is a classic. If you don't, it's from a movie called Friday, starring Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker's character, Smokey, was supposed to sell some weed for Faison Love's character, Big Worm. And he was abusing the weed and using it for himself. So when Big Worm came to check on him, asking about the money and the weed, Smokey was trying to distract him with irrelevant stories. So then Big Worm said, "What the F this got to do with me?" I don't know if he said that verbatim, but it was something just like that if it wasn't that. It was one of the things in the movie that I liked the most. It resonated with me. Now, I would show you a clip from the movie, but I'll probably get some kind of copyright strike, so I can't show it to you, and I wish I could remember exactly how he said it, but it was something like that, okay? I think you get the gist of it. It's because we're surrounded by people distracting us with nonsense all the time. And in a culture of people making things about them. I think you guys know what that's all about, right? We're in a culture where there's this perpetual hustle. I know you think I'm going to call everyone doing it a narcissist, but it's not just the narcissist doing it. Narcissists are treacherous and making it all about them all the time, but it's like so many people are just out for themselves and trying to take the focus off of you and your needs and getting your needs met. It's like everyone wants something all the time and they aren't trying to give you a straight answer. So in 2024, that needs to be our motto. Cool story, but this has nothing to do with me. I'll never get that 15 minutes back. You have to let people know that you don't want to be wrapped up in their drama. You don't want to be a side character in their main character syndrome. You don't want to be an empath to their narcissist. You don't want to be the best supporting actor when they star in the movie. Sorry about the notebook, you guys. I had to take a lot of notes because I had a lot of thoughts on this. I didn't want to just do a dry run. So sorry that I'm looking down a lot and reading, but I wanted to write down all of my thoughts. You have to love yourself more than you care about other people. I'm going to tell you they don't care about you. They're just trying to take from you. They see something in you and they want to feed off of you. Again, it's not just narcissists. It's anyone who doesn't manage their finances or likes to just get attention and can never get enough attention. Some people have a problem and they suck the life out of you. I know this woman in my old building who is obsessed with food. She's really skinny and she's hungry all the time. Like, she never stops talking about food, and she's so entitled. She thinks everyone in the building needs to feed her all the time. When I was intermittent fasting, she wouldn't stop coming to my house talking about food. I was intermittent fasting, all right? I told her she needed to stop and she wouldn't, so I made her go home. That's what I mean. People don't care about you. They're just hustling. If you look at my older videos, you'll see that I've lost a lot of weight. Like, I don't play. Chick, I don't care that you like Texas toast. What the F this got to do with me? I can't eat for 16 hours. Like, you've intermittent fasted before probably, right? Like you go to like from 8 to 16 hours and you don't eat. Okay, it takes a lot of willpower. She had the audacity to get mad when I sent her home too. I ended up losing 50 pounds and kept it off. I'm going to get rid of anyone who is a threat to my health. This is a side note, and I'm keeping it real. If you need to lose weight and someone is sabotaging that in any way, they are trying to unalive you. I have to watch the words I say on this platform. But I have to, let's see, obesity is deadly. You have to get rid of all the feeders and people obsessed with food, food pushers, and anyone else contributing to you not being able to maintain a healthy weight. Some people also won't be friends with you unless you're eating with them, or unless you're fat too. They really don't care if you're fat and you're dying. They'll still just try to push you over the edge just because they want you to feed them. This particular person just wanted me to feed her, to get hungry and go in the house and get some food. My goal meant more to me. Here's another what the F this got to do with me. There's people who ask you for things, people who can't seem to do anything for themselves. It's called weaponized incompetence. Weaponized incompetence, strategically avoiding responsibility by pretending to be incapable or inept at a task so that someone else helps, takes over, or stops delegating tasks to them. In this way, the imbalance becomes extended over time. Other terms for this are manipulative incompetence, strategic incompetence, toxic incompetence, or deceptive incompetence. Seven signs of weaponized incompetence. 1. They do simple tasks badly. 2. You take on most of the work. 3. You feel manipulated or taken advantage of. 4. You feel alone. 5. You don't trust them. 6. You feel burnout. 7. You find yourself hearing certain phrases a lot. Okay, person A is using the weaponized incompetence, all right? I don't know how to do that. I'm going to mess this up. You're definitely more equipped to do this. I don't have time. Can you do it? If I do this, I will mess it up. That's not something I'm good at. I did it so badly last time, so you should do it. Okay, person B is enabling them. I'll just do it. Why are you doing it that way? You did it that way before. You won't mess it up, but if you need help, let me know. Let me handle it. Never mind, I can do it. I was reading this Reddit story where this woman had to kick her husband out of the house because he was doing so many idiotic things that he was costing her thousands of dollars in damaging, disabling the family car, and worst of all, endangering their toddler, all because of his weaponized incompetence. It started out with her asking if she was the AH. Those of you who are on the internet know what that is. For calling him a liability and kicking him out. Absolutely not. She's not the AH. What she's doing is protecting her child's life, and I'm glad to see a parent who is prioritizing the safety of their children above a trash man. For decades, it was mainly the opposite. So I told her, he's using weaponized incompetence against her. It was sad for me to see someone making the right decision and doubting themselves like that. I mean, don't you think that's sad? I do. There are a lot of people I've had to kick out of my life because they were a liability. They were dangerous or stressed me out or cost me my health. Again, let me reiterate, don't sacrifice your health and well-being for someone else's. They would not do the same for you. They don't care about you. Okay, so I mentioned people asking for favors. Here's the thing. They say kindness is its own reward, but people usually reward hard work with more work. You're going to want to learn the word no. You're going to want people to associate you with someone who is not going to give them something or do something for them. You don't want to cross someone's mind when it comes to a loan, giving someone a ride, feeding anyone, or anything like that. Don't be generous with people. Don't say, I'm going to the store, do you need anything? Our days of being that neighbor are over. You can't bring people a plate anymore. With that one lady, I found out the whole building was feeding her. And that's why she expected it out of me. Plus, I had a weight problem, so she probably thought I ate all the time. And a lot of it was brought on by my health conditions and the medications I was taking. I mean, I did eat a lot more back then than I do now. But the weight was, there were other reasons I was overweight. She just probably thought I just sat around eating all the time and I had all this food. And, well, she was wrong, okay? That's why it came off so slowly, but I had the willpower to lose it. You don't want to be hustling people and be on the other side of it, but you'd rather be someone people want to do nice things for rather than take from, if you need to be on a side. You don't want people bothering you outside the grocery store or to sign petitions or give donations. Sometimes I have people practically screaming at me to get my attention when I leave the store. And I put my head down like a celebrity who is trying not to get their picture taken. You can go to the supermarket later at night and they tend not to be there. I don't like to sign those petitions and have those people try to guilt me into causes I don't stand behind. I live in Sacramento where everything's political and there's a lot of people with petitions, so this happens a lot. It's almost like they're preying on you. One guy made the mistake of saying to me, "Well, you look like a nice person." And I said, "Well, you're wrong." And I kept walking. I took it as an insult that he called me nice because that word has become synonymous with walking doormat. Every once in a while, I see one of those people and I get a good feeling about them, but a lot of them have harassed me. I don't mean in Sacramento, I mean in other places I've lived too. So not just in Sacramento. Some of those people are just extremely aggressive. What's this got to do with me? People want you to do things for free. They should be paying you for. The most common complaint I'm hearing from people thinking is they need to get free childcare out of people. Taking care of children is work, especially if you're doing it right. Plus, have you seen kids these days? I'd also like to point out the stuff that's been added to the food in, say, the last 3 decades, that's compounded over generations, that's just messing everyone's brains up. Plus, a lot of people don't want to parent their own kids. Or they think parenting is abusing them into submission because that's the way they were raised and they turned out fine. Trust me, you did not turn out fine. I can look at you and tell. I can look at your kids and tell they won't either. They're going to have to do the hard work to heal themselves because of what's putting them through. What the F does this got to do with me? People who make it about them all the time. I was talking about this a little at the beginning of the show. Okay, this one is about people who are so self-centered, all they can do is vent all the time. They say to be a good friend is to be a good listener. I found that's not me because I'm a solution-based person. I figure if there's an actual problem, you're coming to me with it, you're taking my time up. I'm going to create a workable strategy so you no longer have the problem. So if you come to me again and you want to vent about it some more without taking my advice, not only have you wasted my time, you're trying to waste even more of it. You want to stay in your maladaptive pattern and you want to use me for attention. You want me to validate you for not moving ahead with your life and eradicating your problems. You literally like having your problems. You like ruminating and you only want attention. Other people are here just to be a listening ear. Okay, so you have to look at those people like that because that's what they're doing. Ask them if they want you to solve the problem because you aren't a venting friend. I tell people I'm a problem solver, so don't tell me anything unless they want to hear what to do about it. And don't complain twice if you didn't follow my advice. This one guy was just venting too much, period. And I said I had a low tolerance for venting and asked him to stop, and he wouldn't. So I blocked him in every way. I don't even let him come on my show. You're not required to be the complaint department because some people have problems they keep around to entertain themselves with. It's like their pets. It's hard to grasp, at least for me, that they don't want to do better and stop having the problems. Some people are stimulated by their own drama and addicted to attention. They're also the main character in their own story, and you are simply there to cater to them. I'm not sure why this behavior is on the rise, and it's not just a female trait. A lot of these men will just abuse you for this kind of emotional support, and then no one actually needs. No one really needs to vent about this stuff. They just want to use you for attention. So no one's really solving any kind of problem or truly getting anything out of this, okay? These people are just emotional vampires. I don't want to make this content any longer, so I'm going to stop here. If you watched to the end, I'd like to thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it more than you know. I hope you got something out of it and felt entertained. God bless, and I love you all.